Being a Mitch McConnell resumes negotiations this coming week for your second stimulus. So will a stimulus deal be hatched? How quickly can you get the money? And what will be the deal provisions? There's reassuring news as newfound money has been located. But will the president do executive order? Will the president push Mitch McConnell to do a deal to ensure those 2 Senate wins in Georgia? Big shocking developments and the twist of that unfound money that's now found that could be repurposed as big, bold stimulus checks. It's all really exciting, and this is Being a Mitch. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday afternoon, and boy, what a day it is, with more money being found by the minute on this channel, which could totally change the scope of the negotiations for your second stimulus check and stimulus package next week. I'll have big developments on that third stimulus and third stimulus package as well, and what's going on with first stimulus. Boy, you got to keep track of all these details. And boy, if you've not subscribed, please do, because I'm getting viewers money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. And ultimately, if you're sitting back wondering where that stimulus check is, the answer is it has not been sent. Is it being sent on Monday? No, it's not being sent on Monday. So what are people doing? They're getting thousands of dollars from this channel with the other ways that I'm able to get people for money right now, not 5 days from now, and that we can sit back and listen about what's going on with the negotiations, but it's not sending out a check tomorrow. And anyone that says it is just not being very fruitful or forthcoming in the discussions with you. Meantime, also like this video. In this video, I'll be going over what could be happening between Steve Mnuchin, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and Chuck Schumer. What happened last week, why this newfound money is just so promising. Will the president do executive orders? Can the president do executive orders? And what does this mean for money right now and money in your pocket this minute? All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit right here right now, is that I'm getting viewers money right now, especially for escalated unemployment benefits, because Mitch McConnell has still not, with the Democrats, agreed to the second stimulus package, and because of that, your unemployment benefits are expiring in just a few weeks. PUA, going away. UI, disappearing. FPUC, gone in July. So are we going to be left with millions of Americans with no unemployment assistance in just a few weeks? It's possible. But also, what's going on? Well, they are negotiating, but they've been negotiating for months. So will they make a deal this time around? And what would be the deal provisions? And how quickly could you see the money? Let's turn to UI and unemployment first off, right off the bat. If they made an agreement this coming week for the stimulus package and it was literally signed into law, how soon could you see your unemployment benefits land in your account? It's not particularly clear because some states take several weeks to get the money from the federal government. Some states can do it in about 3 weeks. They did that in the case of LWA, the program that ran during the summer by executive order. But a lot of states don't pay the benefits out until about 4 weeks after receiving them from the federal government. So there can be a delay even if the extension of benefits was applied right now and became law. That's the first thing. Stimulus checks, well, if it became law, you wouldn't receive until at least 11 days from now, not including weekends or holidays. So that could get you the first thing, the fastest. That would be mid-December. But if you needed money for November, it ain't coming. No, it's too late. Next, hazard pay. Would you get the money for hazard pay during the holidays? Absolutely no. Hazard pay would not come until next year because hazard pay requires setting up a program, having you apply, submitting the pay stubs, having them review it, getting back to you. It's a whole involved process. EIDL grants, PPP, that could take weeks. It's never been days for those programs. Then how about anything else like testing and tracing? That could be fast. Student loan forgiveness, that could be quick. Student loan forgiveness, mortgage forbearance, rent forgiveness, or rent eviction protection, those could be fast. But anything that requires a grant, like a rental grant from the federal government, it takes a long time because they got to set up the agency, have you apply, and have you get the money. So basically, what am I saying? Basically, what I'm saying is that with the exception of stimulus check, none of these things would ever get in your hands in the month of November. It's just too late. Could it come in December? You could get the stimulus check in December, but all the other things, I don't even see you getting them in December. So would you have a deal by end of holidays? I believe you're going to get a deal. But are you going to get actual money in your hand before the holidays? You get it for a stimulus check. The other provisions, I don't see it happening just yet. So this is why the stimulus check of the second stimulus negotiations is so important, because that actually can get routed to you really quickly, whereas the other things can't get routed to you fast. And that's why I've been pushing for weeks for you to tag Mitch McConnell with these videos. Share these videos on Twitter and Facebook and tag Mitch McConnell as communications director and say, use that CARES Act 1 money that's sitting at SBA and send it out as a standalone stimulus package of a $5,000 stimulus check. It would solve a lot of problems, because the problems you're having right now are money and how soon to get the money. It's not so much that Congress could pass a bill, which I think they will. It's whether they'll pass a bill that has ability to get you money fast. We're sitting here on the second stimulus package, and you never got paid enough checks for the first stimulus package. The first stimulus package was to give you a stimulus check for the month of March, April, May. They sent you one because they took the other two provisions. They took the provision out that was to pay you a check for April, May. So now you're in a bind because you're behind, and they haven't paid you a stimulus check for months. FPUC expired in July. And now what are your options with the second stimulus package? Well, they are to get a stimulus check potentially 10 days after it becomes law, which is not tomorrow, and that stimulus check would route in your hands sometime thereafter. Well, that is the fastest of all the items. If you're signed up for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security and railroad benefits, you would get a stimulus check. It would come within 10 days after it became law. If you sign up for paper checks or anything with the IRS by paper checks, it would come about a week later. So you see the routing times. And that's what is a little bit problematic. And ultimately, you need money during the holidays. And this plan for these politicians to get this done is moving too slowly. When you talk about third stimulus, which I started talking about a month ago, that stimulus when you're on lockdown. Joe Biden's chief COVID-19 official said, you know what? If people are going on lockdown, we should be paying them stimulus before they go on lockdown. Well, you're not paying them stimulus, and you're putting them on lockdown, and you're putting them on curfews. And suddenly people are supposed to go on lockdown for months, and there's not even a single stimulus check in the mail. So this is the concern. And that's why I'm getting viewers money right now. Because ultimately, if I get you $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, which I am for lots and lots of viewers, that is going to be the result of first stimulus. And it's money sitting around there while we're waiting for a bunch of nincompoops in Congress to figure out how to do second stimulus. It's important to watch these videos. I'll drop in the links above. Check and also purple. Also in the link above. I go over how to get CARES Act 1 grants for rent, utilities, sometimes for hazard pay, sometimes for stimulus. Get those right now. I'm getting viewers $15,000, $10,000, $5,000. I'm getting them right now. All viewers qualify for this money. Go get it. The only ones that don't qualify are people who make too much money 2019. Then escalated UI, escalated PUA. If you're sitting back and you're worried that your UI is expiring and you're watching this video and wondering what Congress is doing with your UI and PUA, instead of focusing on that, focus on doing escalated benefits. Watch Check, watch Purple Power, and understand how to do escalated benefits, because that's turning to my viewers as a $10,000, $9,000, $8,000 check retroactive in their accounts in the last 24, 48 hours. Why wait to see if Mitch is going to give you an additional $300 a week in January, an additional $400 a week in January, when you could be getting $8,000 right now by subscribing to this channel, going to the community page, and following the advice of how to get that money? Next, let's go to what Mitch would likely do. This is money not right now, this is money thereafter. And what would Mitch likely not do? First, Mitch McConnell wants to give you stimulus. He doesn't want to pay for it. And so the incredible promising news is that there is about $1.6 trillion of unused CARES Act 1 money that has now been located by this channel that Mitch McConnell can use for the second stimulus package and won't cost him a penny. This is really good news, and this may ultimately change the whole dynamic of the stimulus package negotiations because this may get a deal done. But you need to be on social media, sharing this video, tagging Steve Mnuchin, tagging Mitch McConnell, saying repurpose the existing CARES Act 1 money. It's a lot of money. There's $800 billion at SBA of PPP. There's $800 billion identified by Steve Mnuchin emergency funds on Friday. There's the money being returned by the Federal Reserve this coming week from the Main Street Lending Program. There's the money coming back from the cities and states from the CARES Act 1 program for rent and utilities and things like that. So there's a lot of money that can be repurposed for stimulus. So if Mitch had that money and he repurposed it, what would he use it for? Stimulus checks, FPUC, PUA, UI, then hazard pay in some case, some amount, rent, testing and tracing, liability insurance, and the eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and finally something for staying local for essential workers. And this is important, but no one has really woken up in Congress and realized the importance of this money. What's also disconcerting is the fake narratives that surfaced on Friday. On Thursday, Chuck Schumer appeared to press and said, Mitch McConnell responded to my letter and said, and we are negotiating for second stimulus on Thursday. Well, the parties did meet, but shortly thereafter, Mitch McConnell's team said, we did not discuss negotiations for stimulus. We met about the continuing resolution, the federal budget bill. So did they negotiate about stimulus or did they not negotiate about the stimulus? Meantime, the President of the United States wants stimulus to go out. He keeps on saying he wants it to go out. He's very adamant about it. And there's concerns that both sides have to do stimulus because there's a 2-seat Georgia race, and that if neither side does anything for stimulus or makes it look like they don't care about stimulus, they could both lose the seats. So it's becoming a battleground potentially of optics and partisanship once again before you being put as the primary party. Let me explain what's going on. There's a presumption that one side is trying to make the other side say, oh, they don't want to give you stimulus, hence vote against them in Georgia. And then there's the other side trying to say, we did give you stimulus, but they didn't want it. And then there's also the reverse of it, which is let's get stimulus passed and then we can brag about it and win in Georgia. And then the other side saying, let's brag about how we got stimulus passed and we can brag about it in Georgia. Needless to say, no one understood what happened on Friday when Chuck Schumer was accused of a positive fake narrative, not a negative fake narrative, but a positive fake narrative, saying that, oh, it's really encouraging. We're now negotiating about the second stimulus. We had a meeting about the second stimulus. And Mitch McConnell's team saying, no, we didn't. What do you mean we did? No, we didn't. So what is being done there? I don't know. You want me to explain it? I have no idea for it. I have no clue what's going involved. So what else would Mitch McConnell give you under a second stimulus package? EIDL? Yes. PPP? Yes, absolutely. But how would you get this money, and would you ever see any of this money over the holidays? I think you could see the stimulus check and unemployment benefits over the holidays. But anything else, rent, hazard pay, EIDL, PPP may take weeks to ramp up, and you may not see this money over the holidays. This is why it's important for you to stay focused on CARES Act 1 money. Ultimately, what's important to understand is that a lot of the viewers of this channel qualify for a lot of things. If you're a business owner, then you should be doing EIDL, not waiting for PPP. If you are on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security benefits, and you need help with bills, you should be doing CARES Act 1 grants and not waiting for a $500 stimulus check from Nancy Pelosi. If you are a single individual and need a stimulus check and Nancy Pelosi wants to give you $1,200, why not get a rent grant of $7,000, $8,000 instead of waiting around for a $1,200 check that hasn't been even mailed out yet, let alone become a law? That's how I'm having viewers really sort of refocus. And what's important to understand is you need to stay positive. You need to stay focused, and you need to chase the money. There's always inherently someone that'll say something like, I don't want to hear about all this stuff. I only want to hear when the stimulus check is going out. Well, It's not going out. Earth to Mars. It's not going out. It's not going out anytime soon, and it has not passed law. So what are you looking to hear about? It's not going out. Viewers need money. That's what people are listening in. They want to hear money. How can I get money? And you ultimately want to hear that as well. How can I get money from the federal government for stimulus? And you don't care whether it's called a stimulus check or rent grant or utilities grant or whatever grant it is. Ultimately, if you qualify and it reduces your monthly bills and keeps a head over your shoulder, keeps a house in your home, and keeps your bills paid, it's better than where you are right now. So go and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe and hit the alert button. Then go to the community page. Some people are saying, I don't know where the community page is. Go to the channel's front page of this channel. That's youtube.com/LLA. You'll see videos, favorites, and community. On the community, I'm posting things by the minute. If I heard a grant in Massachusetts, I posted it. If you are subscribed and hitting the alert button, you should be getting these alerts. These alerts are messages from the community as something happens. And ultimately, on that community page, you'll see something that is announced as it happens. Also, you'll see the volunteers who are here to help you get the money right now. You need to move quickly because we're only talking about a couple of weeks. This is not going to go on indefinitely. And ultimately, by middle December, and when some people will look back and say, oh, we're in middle December, I don't see anything happen with Congress potentially. And then what about those grants, LA? They might be gone by then. You may not be a happy camper in mid-December if you realize, wait a second, I could have got to this money, I didn't get the money, and I was waiting around for something that never happened for Congress. I don't want you to be that person. So take the money on the come. Do what others are doing. $500,000 approximately viewers have got to this channel. $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Get the money right now. We'll remain focused on the negotiations, the second stimulus. We'll understand what's going to come in the pipeline and how it's going to come. We'll keep on pushing hashtag Purple Power. Hazard pay, hashtag Purple Power check, hashtag Purple Power FPUC, tag McConnell and his communications director. But ultimately, you need the money right now. And so you need to do multiple pushes at the same time. Coming up next is Evenings at LA with chat with big developments, followed by Purple Power Live. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below. I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Also, like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay about life for more.